Welcome back to Making Food Monday. This week, it's almost Halloween, so I felt like we needed to take a break from those soups we've been doing and try to do something a little bit more Halloween theme. And what's better than that than pumpkin? So this week, we're gonna be making salted caramel pumpkin pudding cake. For today's recipe, we are going to need some nonstick spray. I happen to have butter flavored. You don't need that, just any nonstick spray will work. I need flour, butter, an egg, pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice. I need some coarse sea salt. I need some sea salt caramel baking chips, or you can use white chocolate if that's what you got. And you're gonna need some caramels. And that should be all we need for today's recipe, guys. The very first thing we're gonna do today, guys, we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of butter and we're gonna add that to a mixing bowl. Up next, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of our baking chips. You could either have white chocolate or, like I do, you have sea salt caramel baking chips. That's 1/4 cup. And now we're gonna melt these together slowly in the microwave. Once we get our chips and our butter melted together nice and slowly, I did about 10 seconds at a time and stirred in between just to make sure that we got them mixed together very well. Then we're gonna add 1/4 cup of our pumpkin puree. We got 1/4 cup of pumpkin. Then we're gonna mix the pumpkin in with our chocolate. Then we're gonna add 1 egg. Then we're gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. 1/4 teaspoon. And 3 tablespoons of flour. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And then we'll mix all of that together really well. And now we're gonna use our nonstick spray for our ramekins. You're just gonna spray them lightly so that nothing will stick to the bottom. Then we're gonna evenly divide our mixture into our 3 ramekins. Now this recipe is super easy to throw together, so I'm gonna make 1 more batch so that we have enough for all 5 of us. But this could easily be divided into 2, it could be divided into 3. I don't think you wanna go much smaller than 3 because then it's not gonna make very much in each ramekin. But I'm gonna make another batch and then we're gonna divide it evenly 4 ways because I already know Malia's not gonna like this because it's pumpkin. So I'm gonna let her taste mine and then if she likes it, she can just have it. But I don't wanna waste it, so I'm gonna put it in 4 ramekins instead of 5. Next step, guys, is to take 1 caramel and unwrap it for each one of our ramekins. And we're just gonna place the caramel about the center in each one of these. Just like that. Oops. Back to the center, you. There we go. And then we're gonna cover all of them with foil. Just like that. Now we're gonna make a sling for each one of our ramekins. So what I'm gonna do is tear this into 4 even pieces. We're gonna take each one of these and fold it a few times. We're gonna fold it into thirds so that it makes it a little stronger. And then we can put each of our ramekins on there and we can lift them out of the pot very easily without burning our fingers or dropping them. There we go. Also made 1 more teeny tiny sling, and all I'm gonna do is roll up the edges on both sides until they meet up in the middle with about 1 inch in between them. Just like that, guys, and you'll see that in between those 2 feet, you've got a little bit of space, and that's gonna be just enough to keep the bottom pudding up off the bottom of our pot. Now we need to add 1 cup of water to the bottom of our pot. And this cute little guy is gonna go right in the center of the bottom of the pot. Then we're gonna set our bottom pudding on top of our teeny tiny trivet and fold over the sling that we made. Then we're gonna set our regular trivet right on top of that pudding. And then carefully, we're gonna set our other puddings on top of the legs so that we don't unbalance it. Just like that. So we have each one of the puddings sitting on top of one of the legs of the trivet. and the bottom pudding sitting on the bottom on our teeny tiny trivet. And that's it, guys. Now we're ready to seal up our pot. And we're gonna drop down in here to our chicken function because that's our high pressure. We're gonna bring that time cook down to only 7 minutes. There we go. Okay, our time has expired, and I've also let our pin drop naturally. Now we're gonna open this up, and we're gonna carefully remove all of our puddings from the pot. So I'm going to carefully unwrap the sling and pull them out, and set them on my towel here so they don't burn my countertop. And then we're gonna add just a pinch of coarse sea salt to the top of each one of those caramels. And there we have it, guys. We've got salted caramel pumpkin pudding cake. Ready to go. Okay, Jaxie, I've got it done, and it's plated. Now we need our... Do it. Ooh, it's a scary pig.
Spider pig.
Ooh, it's a spider pig. Uh-oh. Jordan! Ah! It's a scary pig. And the daddy pig. You're scary all the time. You don't have to try to be scary. You scare me all the time. Who thinks it smells good?
That smells really good.
Who wants to go first?
The person that loves pumpkin the most.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say, Malia hates pumpkin. So I've given her this as sort of a, she has to taste it because, you know, she has to. I already know she's not gonna like it. Why don't you go ahead and go first just to get it over with so we know if you like it or not.
So this is pudding.
Pumpkin pudding cake.
Pudding cake?
Pudding and cake.
It's pumpkin. You don't like pumpkin? Since when? Give me that. That's really for me. Why don't you go pick out a Halloween candy instead? All right, who's tasting it next?
Dad.
Jaxie's got his hand up. Jaxie's next.
I love pumpkin.
Be careful, it might be a little bit hot, okay? It's gonna be hot in the middle though, so be careful.
I'm gonna take some of you.
Some of the caramel? Okay. Do you like it? Kinda like it?
There's too much salt.
We're not supposed to eat all the salt in one bite, silly. You silly goose. All right, try the pumpkin part. Silly goose.
All you could hear is crunch, crunch, crunch.
Do you like it? Do you like the pumpkin part? No? What now?
Kinda.
Why don't you like it now?
Kinda.
Still too much salt in that bite too?
Here. Look how you give me no salt.
Now what do you think?
Oh my god! Too salty again.
What do you think now?
A little bit too salty.
Oh my god! All right, who's next?
Dad.
Dad, you're up.
It's a little salt. Okay. That's weird. It doesn't taste like pumpkin. It's not sweet at all.
Try mixing the caramel in.
That's a good idea. Oh, I thought this was gonna be soft. I mean, yeah. Oh, it is soft. Just the outside was a little. It's a little. Oh yeah. You gotta get that caramel and like move it around and get all that gooey deliciousness get in there. Yeah, much better once it's mixed with that. I really enjoy the sweetness and saltiness of things. When you get a bite of something sweet and all of a sudden you get a little bit of salty. To me, that's a win-win situation. It's my favorite. This is really good. I
You
like
like
it a lot.
How many thumbs are you gonna give that, Dad?
It has caramel. It's very mild. I like it. Okay.
Thanks, Dad. All right, Jordan, you're up. Oh, man.
Look at all this.
I thought the caramel would melt more than it did.
That could use a little salt.
If you put more like that, you melt it a little bit.
What do you
The
think?
salt.
A little salty. You're not supposed to eat all the salt in one bite, you ding dongs. Try a bite of the pumpkin. Not a big fan of the pumpkin?
I'm not a really big fan of pumpkin.
I
I like
didn't know
pumpkin
that.
spice stuff, but
This is pumpkin spice. So, what do you think? How many thumbs are you gonna give that?
sideways thumbs.
All right.
I could eat it, but
Just don't want to.
Yeah.
You'd rather have Halloween candy.
yeah.
You turd.
Okay guys, my final thoughts. The kids did not care for this recipe, but Daddy and I both thought it was delicious. I really like the saltiness and the sweet together. I like sweet and salty, I like it. If you don't like sweet and salty, you probably won't like it, but you can just avoid putting the salt on top and it would probably be really good if you like pumpkin. I thought the pumpkin flavor was spot on. Daddy thought it was a little bit mild, but I thought it was really good. I don't think I would change a whole lot about this recipe, except that I thought the caramel would melt inside these cakes because it's got a big chunk of caramel in the middle, but the caramel didn't melt at all, which was a little disappointing. It was a little bit hot when we took it out so you could kind of mix it in, but even still you had a little bit of that hard caramel left. So if you wanted it completely melted, maybe you could switch that to caramel sauce in the middle instead of an actual caramel. I don't know. I liked it the way that it was. I just was hoping that it would be melted. So one other thing that you could do is take that caramel, turn it into a caramel sauce by adding a little bit of heavy cream and melting it and then adding it to the cake. But the way that it is worked out just fine and it was easy. I'll make this one again for Daddy and I because we both really liked it, but I won't double the recipe because the kids did not care for it. But for me, definitely a thumbs up.
So, none of you guys liked my salted caramel pumpkin pudding
It
cake.
was okay, like I could eat it if it was like the last food on earth.
I mean, it's not the last food on earth. It's supposed to be yummy. It's dessert.
I mean, I could eat it, but then
Oh, fine. You guys are ridiculous. I thought it was delicious. Dad, was it delicious or am I crazy?
I think it was delicious.
See, you guys are crazy, not me. Guys, I thought this one was good. I think I'll make it again for Daddy and I, but for now, we need to get you kiddos to bed. So,
if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Want to make this channel strong? Share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. Pooh, I didn't like that pumpkin stuff.